Premanande. Okay, so let's start. So this is verse number 32.
In other words, the sages were not actually within Vaikuntha Lok, but were at the gate. It could be asked, how could they return to the material world if they entered Vaikuntha Lok? But factually they did not enter, and therefore they returned.
So this is the conclusion of Prabhupada.
There are many similar incidents where great yogis and brahmanas, by dint of their yoga practice, have gone from this material world to Vaikuntha Lok, but they were not meant to stay there. They came back.
See, this is referring to Durvasa and others who went to Vaikuntha Lok. Bhrigu also went to Vaikuntha, Durvasa went to Vaikuntha. Sometimes there is a description that some demigods like Yamaraj, they go to Vaikuntha for some reason. So because they were not meant to stay back, so they all came back. So that's what Prabhupada says.
Oh, sorry, one second. Which purpose this is number?
22.
32. Hmm.
Those who know that Lord Vishnu is the origin of everything, who are conversant with the process of creation, and who understand that Vishnu or Krishna is the most worshipable object of all living entities, engage themselves in Vishnu worship as Vaishnavas.
So this is so the point is that Prabhupada has explained that why they came back, what is the system, etc. That's the main point of this purport. Okay.
Here is a clear proof of how a living entity coming originally from the Vaikuntha Lokas is engaged in the material element.
Engaged.
Engaged in the material element. The living entity takes shelter within the semen of the father, which is injected within the womb of mother, and with the help of the mother's emulsified. The living entity grows particular type of the body. In this connection, it is to be remembered that the mind of Kashyapa Muni was not in order when he conceived the two sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, the semen is discharged was simultaneously extremely powerful and mixed with the quality of anger. It is to be concluded that while conceiving the child, one's mind must be very sober and devotional. For this purpose, the Garbhodana Samskara is recommended in Vedic scripture. If the mind of the father is not sober, the semen discharge will not be very good. Those the living entity rests in the matter produced from the father and mother will be dominant like Hiranyakasha and Hiranyakashipu. The condition of conceptions are to be carefully studied. This is a very great science.
They said, so this whole samskaras, they are not just based of time. The samskaras are very scientific. Prabhupada said this is a great science. All these different samskaras, they are very scientific. So therefore, they actually should be very carefully considered, especially for a person who is going to go through family life. And they should not be taken very lightly. That, okay, what is this? It's okay, if you do it's okay, if you don't do it's okay. We should not think like that. Because it's a very scientific process. And all the samskaras should be done properly so that the children actually get the right type of impression when they grow up, and it is helpful for their Krishna consciousness. Okay.
Quality of anger I could not understand. When Kashyapa made
So Kashyapa, he actually told his wife that we should not unite together. But the wife, she was pulling his dress, you remember? Like she was a problem, she was pulling his dress. So then he became very angry with her. But at the same time, she is like she's like so much in anxiety. So he had to have the union with her. So he was not satisfied. His mind was not sober. And he himself was agitated by sex desire. And that is a time when he is supposed to do his evening Gayatri and all his evening oblations to fire, etc. Now she is coming and disturbing. So his lust is also there. So it is not a very good circumstance at all. So the combination of circumstance, he was very disturbed and angry, because if you remember, then immediately after he had union with her, then he took bath and then he started doing his evening duties. That he told, this is Sandhya time, we should not have union. That she didn't listen and she was insisting. So he was also very lusty. So he also went. But because he was a man of knowledge, and he is also disturbed that when sometimes devotees, they become victim to sense gratification, but they know that this is not good. So they are disturbed, they are angry, because sometimes they are angry with themselves that my mind is going into this sense gratification so much. I am not supposed to be like this, and at the same time they also become victim of sense gratification. So the whole consciousness of Kashyapa was not very good. So that's why it is said that because he is a very powerful man. Kashyapa is Prajapati. He is not an ordinary guy. He is just not some simple guy. He is Prajapati. So he has power. He has done austerities. He has power. So therefore his semen is very powerful. But because he was very disturbed, and because it was a time where this is a very demoniac time, so therefore this happened. So that's why Prabhupada is saying the mood of the father and mother at the time of conception is very important. So Garbhadana Samskara means that the father and mother, the man and woman, they are recommended to chant at least 50 rounds on the day of union. They should at least chant 50 rounds on the day of union, and then after that they are supposed to have union. And also there are different instruction Prabhupada gives that what are the practical details of that union. Prabhupada gives all those instructions in the purport. If you actually read all the Garbhadana related instructions in the purport, you will find a wealth of information about what Prabhupada actually tells about Garbhadana. He gives very nice details that the house should be decorated nicely, the place where union is happening, that should be very clean, it should not be a dirty place. The man should eat nice food which is cooked with ghee, and the woman should not eat she should take a light meal, man should take heavy meal, and the woman should be decorated nicely so that she attracts the attention of the man. So many different details Prabhupada has given. So Garbhadan is a very important ceremony. That like sometimes we see that the parents are so much interested in Annaprashna. They want to do Annaprashna. It's good. It's not bad. But they should also the same interest they should also have in Garbhadan. So sex life in Vedic system is something which is considered as very auspicious. It's not considered as some private affair, which is like just happening between man and woman. The act itself is a private affair, but sex life itself is considered auspicious. So therefore, before having child, the system is that the husband and wife, they should approach the spiritual master, and then they should take his permission, saying that we want to have child, can you please give your blessing. Then the spiritual master gives permission, okay, you have Garbhadan, you can have child. Then generally they should invite brahmanas to their house, some senior devotees, brahmanas to their house. They should give feast, and then have kirtan, and then take blessing and take advice from them, that how to prepare the consciousness, what they should do, everything they should take advice from them. Then they should have Garbhadan union. So that generally the system is that. So after Vivaha Samskar, this is a very important process. Garbhadan is a very important process. So there was no Garbhadan, nothing. It's just a union which came out of lust and disturbance and at the wrong time. So therefore, naturally the result is not very advisable. It's not very palatable.
During the procreation process, one cannot be devotional.
Who said like that?
They can be devotional and during the procreation.
Yeah, why not? Why should we think that everything? Krishna himself says that dharma vruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. There are many pleasures in Krishna consciousness. So every pleasure in Krishna consciousness, when we actually experience the pleasure, are we not devotional? Like somebody might like paneer sabji very much. Okay, so he is eating paneer sabji. This is pleasure for the tongue. So is he not devotional at that time? Is he just saying that, oh, now I'm eating Patisarji, I want to forget Krishna and then enjoy? Is this the mood?
No.
Is this the mood?
No.
That's not the mood. So, everything can be done in a devotional atmosphere. So, what prepares the devotional atmosphere? That 50 rounds of chanting, then taking blessings from all the different devotees, and taking blessings of the Guru, praying to the Lord that let some nice soul take shelter within the womb. And then there is a samskara mantra also, Garbhadhana samskara mantra, which is given in Satya Saradipika, chanting that samskara mantra before union. So there is pleasure, but that pleasure is enjoyed in mode of goodness. So when that pleasure is enjoyed in mode of goodness in a Krishna conscious atmosphere, then that pleasure becomes Krishna conscious.
So the pleasure is enjoyed, but because of the circumstances,
It becomes Krishna. It is normal. No, everything is like that. Eating is also like that. The pleasure is enjoyed. You are not, when you are eating prasadam, you are not thinking that, oh, this is the greatest austerity I have to take, what to do. And then you don't cook some very non-tasty prasad and then try to eat some non-tasty prasad, no salt, completely bitter. Do you make prasad like that? Or burnt prasad, something like that? Do you make prasad like that? No, we make very tasty prasad, right? And then we enjoy very tasty prasad, right?
Yes.
So every pleasure is enjoyed like that. When the atmosphere is Krishna conscious, and when the consciousness is clean, then the enjoyment is also Krishna conscious.
thank you. This was like very difficult for me to understand. This example made easy.
Yeah.
I was always thinking how it is possible.
It's possible. Okay, please read.
In other words, although Jaya and Vijaya assumed the bodies of Asura, they remained more powerful than anyone, thus proving that the Supreme Personality of Godhead desired to fight, because the fighting spirit is also within him. He is the original in everything, but when he desires to fight, he must fight with the devotee. Therefore, by his desire only were Jaya and Vijaya cursed by the Kumaras. The Lord ordered the gatekeepers to go down to the material world to become his enemy, so that he could fight with them and his fighting desires would be satisfied by the service of his personal devotees.
Okay.
He wanted to show that even though these two attendants were coming in the form of a demons, they were very powerful, greater than the demigod, who could not control them. No one can surpass the act of the Supreme Lord. The demigods were also advised not to try to counteract this incident, because it was ordered by the Lord. Similarly, anyone who is ordered by the Lord to perform some action in this material world, especially preaching his glories, cannot be counteracted by anyone. The will of the Lord is executed under all circumstances.
You see from where? Prabhupada takes it where? So Prabhupada takes it this complete to the preaching. So as preachers, we should be very confident that Prabhupada's desires will come true. At one point, when Mahaprabhu said, Prithvicha Chaita Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachara Habe Maranam, then everyone was thinking that this is just some sort of this thing, some sort of exaggerated statement, or some sort of statement which is Prithvite Jata Nagaradigram means that within Bengal, so many villages, so many towns, this is what they are thinking. Prithvi means Bengal, that's it. It will just, okay, maximum take it Orissa, not more than that. They are thinking that this is all some sort of decorative statement. It has no truth. But when our Vaishnava Acharyas, starting from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, came, they actually systematically paved way for this particular instruction to become true. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that there will come a time when European and American and Vaishnavas, they will come and they will join with the local Vaishnavas, and all of them will sing and dance Jai Sachinandan Gaurahari, Jai Sachinandan Gaurahari. He said that.
Yes.
So he saw that vision that it is going to happen. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he actually formed that Vishwa Vaishnava Sangha. Vishwa Vaishnava Sangha, that World Vaishnava Association. And he wanted also, he tried, he sent his disciples to preach in UK. And there's a very famous incident that one of Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples went to one lord in UK, and this lord told him that, can you please make me Brahmana? He said, yeah, you can make you Brahmana. You have to give up illicit sex, you have to give up meat eating, you have to give up intoxication, and you have to give up gambling. Then the Lord said, it is impossible. It is impossible to give up these things. So that famous incident is there. And also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the first one to send books outside India. He sent the Chaitanya Shikshamrita book and Life and Percepts of Lord Chaitanya book to foreign countries, to libraries in foreign countries. So there's a systematic plan by which finally when Prabhupada came, the whole thing exploded, and the whole world, now everywhere Krishna consciousness is there. The whole world now Krishna consciousness is there. So, but Prabhupada also said so many things. People may believe, people may not believe. People said for the next 10,000 years, my books will become the law book. Someone may say, hey, how it can become? But it will become, because Prabhupada has said it. That's what Prabhupada is saying. The will of the Lord will be executed under all circumstances. We are just seeing the beginning of the Krishna conscious movement. We are in the dawn of the Krishna conscious movement. We are seeing in the beginning of Krishna conscious movement. We are seeing that how the Krishna conscious movement is successful, and we are also seeing how the Krishna conscious movement is facing many challenges within and without. We are seeing both. But all these things are like the growing pains. You know, in English we have a phrase called growing pain. When a tooth grows, it is very painful. It's called growing pain. All these are growing pain. We see that there is so much difference of opinion between Prabhupada disciples itself. There is so much of difference of opinion between them. So many issues which are coming up, which are very vexing, which is very difficult to decide, which is very difficult to take side, or very difficult to decide. So many things are happening. By the same time, the movement is also expanding. The movement is also expanding. So, this is going to happen, that the movement will be successful, and Prabhupada's statements, it will come true that his books will be law books for the next 10,000 years, the golden age, where everybody will be Krishna conscious, or Krishna consciousness will be spread far and wide. Many people will become Krishna conscious. All these things will happen. Sometimes we feel, oh, the preaching in the West has gone down. Mostly preaching in the West is now reduced to Indians. Not many Westerners, like what it used to be in Prabhupada's time. In Prabhupada's time, there are hardly any Indians. They were all Western devotees. Now, there is less and less Western devotees, there are more and more Indians. So, there some people are saying, oh, Krishna conscious movement, that's it. It has lost its sheen. It has become like another sect in Hinduism. Is another Akra, another sect in Hinduism. No. These things are there because Krishna consciousness will bounce back in full swing. So, that's what Prabhupada is saying here. The will of the Lord will be executed in all circumstances.
So do you think like the quality will also increase? Because many people predict that the quantity may increase, but as Kali Yuga progresses, very difficult for increase in quality because
You
of
see,
circumstances.
when the first ILS happened, there was a poll in that ILS amongst those who attended the ILS, because ILS is leaders, it's called Leadership Sangha. Many leaders came and attended. There was a poll which happened that how many leaders have completed reading Prabhupada books.
Wow.
Okay? And then the result was not very encouraging.
Oh.
I was told that the percentage was around 20, 25, something like that. The result was not very encouraging. Then the GBC actually realized that there should be a lot of emphasis in reading Prabhupada books. Okay? Because all our problems are because we are not reading Prabhupada books. Now, most of the time, we find that sometimes there is some problem in ISKCON, then people actually try to find solutions from the outside world. They say, oh, we should copy the church, oh, we should copy the university, oh, we should copy this NGO, oh, we should do like this, we should do like that. Rather, instead of doing all those things, we should simply read Prabhupada books, because the solutions for us is there within Prabhupada books. So now we see there is a lot of emphasis in reading Prabhupada books. There is so much of emphasis in reading Prabhupada books. There is so much of talk about reading Prabhupada books. These courses are all gaining currency. Many people want to do these courses, especially with online. Before it was very limited. Like in a year, hardly like 100 students will come to Mayapur Institute, another 100 students to Vrindavan Institute, then maybe world over another 300, 400 students in different places. Very limited people who are studying Prabhupada books systematically. Now with the COVID, in Mayapur Institute itself, in 1 year, they actually dealt with 2,000 students. Like from 100 to
200.
2,000. 20 times more, 100 to 2,000. And this is just one course. And now, I don't know the latest statistics, but Mayapur Institute may have some very interesting statistics of how many people have completed Bhakti Shastri in the last 2 years online, how many people have completed Bhakti Vaibhav in the last 2 years, or studying Bhakti Vaibhav online. They may have some very interesting statistics. There is one temple in Mangalore. In Mangalore, there was literally nothing. There was zero preaching. And during COVID, in Mangalore, they started one online Bhagavad Gita course. Somehow or other, that course became so famous that now Mangalore has a congregation of more than 7,500 devotees, all of them online congregation from all over the world. And within 2 years, these people are so inspired that they actually contributed so much money so that Mangalore, now they bought a land and they are building temple also. So, now from Bhagavad Gita they have gone to teaching Bhakti Shastri, and they are going to have some more than 200 or 250 devotees who are going to graduate from Bhakti Shastri. So, I went to Coimbatore, in Coimbatore, because I am teaching in Coimbatore also. I went to Coimbatore last year, and last year was Prabhupada's 125th anniversary. So they had 125 graduates of Bhakti Shastri to celebrate Prabhupada's 125th anniversary. So there's so much of emphasis which is now going on the reading of Prabhupada books, which is very good, which is very healthy. Many spiritual masters are speaking about the importance of reading Prabhupada books. So if we actually read Prabhupada books, if we systematically go through Prabhupada books, whether through a course or on our own time, if we systematically go through Prabhupada books, then automatically the quality will come. Because Krishna consciousness has been very concisely explained in his purports. So then it is very difficult to have some misconception. It's very, very difficult to have some misconception. So this is a very important service. Reading Prabhupada books is a very important service. So because that service will form the basis of all other services. It will form the base of all other services. So naturally quality will come. When the whole preaching happens and when people are more and more reading Prabhupada books, naturally quality will increase. There was a period where reading Prabhupada books was not so much promoted within ISKCON. They were distributing books outside, but within ISKCON is not so much promoted. Now that has been understood, that is causing so much of problem. Like, we are reading Mood and Mission. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
Mood of Prabhupada in mission, what the mission of Prabhupada to
Does it
understand.
give a sense of direction of why everything is happening?
Yes. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
Because it gives.
Yes.
When we
That's
are-
my Prabhu. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
We are in this movement, so at least we should understand so that we can align and we can go up.
Okay. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
By reading Srila Prabhupada, we should understand what actually Prabhupada wants to say.
Okay. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
We have to preach Prabhupada's mood and mission. That's why to.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
Understand what Prabhupada will do, will appreciate.
Okay. Why are we reading Mood and Mission?
To apply it the way he wants it, the way everybody said, so that it pleases him. That
Correct. Why are we reading Mood and Mission? Because that should be our mood and mission. In spreading Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada's mood and mission should be our mood and mission also. That's why we are trying to read Mood and Mission. It's very important to understand. Because we should also adopt that same mood. We should also adopt that same mission. We cannot have mission within mission. You understand? We cannot have a mood within mood. We should exactly have the same mood, we should exactly have the same mission. That is what aligning with the Acharya, following with the Acharya means. Mahajano yena gata sapantaha. What does it mean? It means that we accept Prabhupada's mood as our mood. We accept Prabhupada's mission as our mission. That's why we are reading so much mood and mission, mood and mission. That we should understand Prabhupada's mood, we should understand Prabhupada's mission, so that it becomes ours. We are convinced, yes, this is my mood, this is my mission, this is how I will spread Krishna consciousness. So that's the remedy, and with that remedy, then we will have powerful devotees. You will all become GBC, and you will run the movement one day, because you have so much Shakti. You are putting so much time in reading Prabhupada books, trying to understand systematically. So you can cause big change, big revolution. It's possible. Okay, please read.
When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculations. For example, sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed, or sometimes he is put into difficulty just as Haridas Thakur was. He was a great devotee who came into this material world to execute the will of the Lord by preaching the Lord's glories. But Haridas was punished at the hands of Kaji by being beaten in 22 marketplaces. Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified and Prahlad Maharaj was put through so many tribulations. The Pandavas, who were direct friends of Krishna, lost their kingdom. Their wife was insulted and they had to undergo many severe tribulations. Seeing all these reverses affect devotees, but one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by such reverses. He accepts even reverse conditions as grace of the Lord. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse conditions is assured that he will go back to Godhead, back to the Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord.
So it's a very important purport. Prabhupada actually makes many important points. He says that Haridas Thakur was beaten up in 22 marketplaces. So they were actually beating him with cane. And normally anybody who takes such beating, they should die. But Haridas Thakur was unaffected. He was just blissfully chanting Hare Krishna. Then after beating him in 22 marketplaces, those soldiers of Kasi who were beating him, they became